Welcome to the first ever Divine Masculine Reading and Clearing, episode 1 for Twin Flame Lady Luck 1111. Today I'm talking about the mirror and how it is your key. Now, this reading has been selected for Divine Feminine, or this reading has been done for Divine Masculines, where they are right now, and where the heart is focused and really understanding why things appear the way that they are. Now, in the twin flame journey that I am experiencing, you know, when I look at my twin, it would be really easy to blame, to judge, to categorize. But when I look at it like a reflection of how I feel about myself on the inside and understand that I have work to do, everything becomes more clear and it makes a lot more sense. And so what I am doing today is I am doing a reading specifically for the Divine Masculine and to help bring some clarity. And the first cards that I'm going to be using are the answer is simple deck. And the questions that I'm going to be asking are, what answers do the Divine Masculines need this week? And you know, before I get too far, if you are wanting to keep up to date with the next videos that I do, I know that this is the very first one, but if you're wanting to keep up, all that you have to do is click subscribe, make sure to click that bell, and you'll be notified when the new videos have been posted. So right now I'm looking for 3 cards to keep the answers simple. What are they for the Divine Masculine? What do they need to know? Well, here's the first one. I'm going to pull 3. That's the second one. Oh, no, that's second and third. There we go. Awesome, awesome. Okay, and then I'm also looking for, these are Wisdom of the Hidden Realm. So I'm going to check to see what we've got for wisdom for you. Ooh, Caddy. One more. Just one more. It's right there. Okay. Excellent, excellent. And then what I'm looking for is what we need to let go of. What is it that the Divine Masculine needs to let go of? Oh, no. What is the Divine Masculine needing to let go of? Let's check this out. Okay. There it is. Okay. Now, what I also want to pull for you is a postcard message, and these are lovely. They have the best messages, especially when the heart seems a little bit heavy. And we're going to see what message there is available for the Divine Masculine. What is it the Divine Masculine needs to know? What are we needing to know? Divine Masculine. And remember, we all have Divine Masculine and Divine Feminine in all of us. And so it's important to focus on how this applies to you. And I've already completed the Divine Feminine reading, so you can check that out on the channel as well if you feel like you need to check in with the Divine Feminine. Okay, Divine Masculine, what do you need to know? What is your message this week? What is your message today? Oh, there it is. That's kind of funny. You'll find out why in a minute. Okay, so the next thing that I want to know is your heart's message, and that one popped out really quick as well. Ooh, fun. Ooh, I think this one's going to be good. All right, Divine Masculine, let's go check this out. Answers are simple. Open your heart. It's really easy to shut down when things feel painful, and just remember that the way that we perceive things is usually based on circumstances from the past, and there's always three sides to every story. So your side, their side, and then the truth. And when our perceptions are interfering with what we need to focus on and clear out of our hearts, it's easy for emotions to get cloudy. So really, I'm going to just read what it says in the book for you for this, but keep your hearts open. Keep your hearts open. To love yourself and experience all blessings your spirit offers, you must have an open heart. You can't fully experience love of any sort, that of self or otherwise, if it isn't open. As divine beings, we are all born with a welcoming heart, the one that expects life to be a positive experience. It's especially important now to open yourself up because life is trying to deliver you the gift of love. Your spirit and the divine source of all of life knows exactly what your core needs and is more than willing to supply that and so much more, but it can't succeed if you're not prepared to receive the blessings it wants to rain on you. The ego fears pain and disappointment and so slams the heart shut. Although it's trying to protect you, a closed heart is actually the source of your pain. The ego, however convincing it tries to be, can never truly shield you because it's disconnected from source. Only a willing heart can receive your innermost desire. Take the risk, feel the love coming in, and open your heart and believe. And that is why it's so important for us to love ourselves unconditionally, because if we don't love ourselves unconditionally, we're not going to believe it when anybody else does. So that doubt creeps in, and I hope that you can focus on really having that open heart. Now, the next answer is simple, is change the scenery. Ooh, wouldn't that be nice? And so I'll read that one for you as well. So your ego has narrowed your view, and it looks as though you have a few options. It's time to it's time to get back to spirit, shake things up, and free yourself by changing the scenery. Start by going outside, really going outside and taking a long walk, for example, a hike, or even a trip. There's so much more life for you to enjoy, and your spirit is calling you back to the banquet. The ego lacks imagination and believe that there's nothing more than what you see in front of you. A change of scenery will show you that as spirit, you have unlimited options. It will also introduce you to new ideas, different people, and novel inspiration, all of which will reconnect you to those options. Don't allow your ego to resist or keep you chained in. Break free, get out, get about, and get a fresh perspective. It sounds like fun. Nice. Change up the scenery. Ooh, and clear the fog. Let's see what that one's about. Well, I mean, if you're out and about anyway, right? Okay. The answer's simple, clear the fog, Divine Masculine. Life looks a bit foggy now, and your ego is distorting the truth. It's time to summon the pure heart of your spirit so that you're correctly informed. The first step to clearing away the confusion is to take nothing personally. Stay aware and learn as much as you can. Listen closely, observe the details, and be on guard for a tendency to interpret things from an overly emotional point of view, especially when it comes to the behavior of others. Next, ask Spirit to be clear on what you want from those around you and say so with love. Express your clear heart without being overly emotional or vague. Allow your spirit to speak for you, breathing calmly as you do and expecting the best. The fog will lift and the pollution of the present will stay clear. Great messages. With an open heart, a change of scenery, and clearing the fog, it's going to help bring some clarity in, and so that you'll be able to love unconditionally and get one step closer to your heart's desires. So now what we're going to do is we are looking at the wisdom of the hidden realms. And the first thing that we have is the well watcher. And it is wisdom, power of the divine. Beautiful. The second card that we have is the Swan Queen, transformation, intuition, and patience. Interesting. And the final one is the Dragon's Duel, the inner conflict, the morality, conscious choice. Right there. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to check in and see. Okay, so the Well Watcher is connected to open your heart. And when you think about that, it signals you to go within and contemplate the true source of power. And it reminds you to connect to the divine. So listen to your heart, listen to spirit, not ego. So listen with the center of your heart. Keep it open and be silent. Wait for those answers to come. The wisdom is going to come. The challenge with this message is to let you know that you're running out of energy. You're running out of steam, and it's important to connect to source and be guided, because you can't do it alone. And all can't be yours at this time, is what it says. So if you feel like you're going nowhere, it's because you're meant to stay put. So when you feel peace or motivation, go. But when you don't have clarity, just wait. It's going to come. Just be still. Be still, Divine Masculine. The answers are going to come. And you don't need to do any more struggling, right? The only thing you need to do is open your heart. Okay. So next we've got the Swan Queen, and that is connected to the change of scenery here. And while you're out in nature, it's important to reflect on the events in your life and look at the beauty that is actually surrounding you when you're out in nature. The trees don't have to make an effort. They just stand there and be beautiful. They're enough just by being. And understand, Divine Masculine, that you're enough just by being. You don't have to look outside of yourself for the answers, because the true power, it actually lies within. And so when the Swan Queen appears, it's to challenge you, and it's time to stop doubting your inner voice. Don't let your analytical mind prevent you from seeing the miracles that Spirit is placing in front of you. And another message that the Swan Queen shows you in the mirror of your life is your fear of change. And why fear what's inevitable? Everything in life changes and transforms from one moment to the next. As you look at those trees, I mean, they're seasons, right? And so leaves change color, drop, or at least they do where I'm from in Canada. We got 4 seasons, but everything has a season, and it's important that you know that you just have to go with what your instincts are telling you to do, and it's going to be the right choice. And you, if you can, in spite of your fear, be gentle with yourself and allow for change. Only beauty will come of it. Most importantly, a shift in perspective is what is called for now. Now, the Dragon's Duel, it refers to inner conflict, mortality, and conscious choice. And so that card is with Clear the Fog, and I'm just going to look it up to get some insight. And so this is a fork in the road. It's an ally and a challenger all at once, and it represents the tension of opposites. Even though the truth is that we live in unity, we experience the duality of faith and doubt, love and fear, right and wrong, black and white. This aspect of your current experience asks you to accept that although you may be going one way, another may call you to change direction. Now is the time to inquire whether it's your ego or your soul that's leading you. There are always choices in life. Decision-making also solves inner conflict. If you're torn between two dragons, the one that you chose to feed will be the one that wins. Which is it? If it's not the one that serves the highest of your intentions, deliberately feed the other, and the duel will be won in your favor. Which is interesting because that's connected with Clear the Fog. So be clear on the direction that you want to go, and make sure that you're always fueling your dream. Now, the other card that I have chosen today is the Let It Go cards. And it's more of an affirmation card, and it says, focusing on substance. So today I will focus on the substance in my life. I will fill in the lines of myself with a real person, me. I will concentrate on the substance of my relationships and other areas of my life, not trappings. Beautiful. And the postcard, I love these. And now I'm going to give you the message for your heart. Dear you, there is always more than one side to an argument, two sides, if not more, to every story, and hundreds of ways to be right, be different, be at odds, and so on. Today, we suggest that instead of looking for differences, you find a meeting place of agreement and approach this experience with understanding and compassion. Seek common ground to understand how another person thinks or how an alternative plan might be laid. Stay out of judgment too. Observe, discern, but accept that others have different stories, experiences, and journeys, and some people might refuse to remain open to another's point of view. No matter what, you've been presented with a great opportunity to explore a new way of doing things once common ground is reached. You're attracting people and situations that enrich your life and bring you wonderful things to learn. We love you so much. Beautiful. And your heart's message is relax and allow things to unfold. Perfect. Now, another thing that I do after a reading is I use my own cards and I do some energy clearing. So if you want to stick around for that, if you have any of the challenges that you want to have cleared, I'm going to do a sample reading and a clearing. What is the Divine Masculine led to understand? That's my question. What is the Divine Masculine being led to understand? And this is just going to be clearing, the sample reading and clearing today. So what is the Divine Masculine being led? Ooh, 3 cards. Let me see. Ooh. Okay. So this kind of makes sense with the fear. And so the very first thing that comes up is actually fear of death. Now that might not be literal death. It might be the death of a current situation. And so the way that I do this is I want you to close your eyes, take a deep breath, and think of a situation that is creating some fear because it seems to be an ending coming close. Okay, when a thought comes to mind, I want you to rate it. How big is that fear on a scale of 1 to 10? Got it? Okay, and so now what I'm going to do is I am going to clear that fear of death, and I'm going to replace it with excitement for a new adventure and acceptance that the only constant is change. Okay, now when you think of that fear, I want you to rate it again on a scale of 1 to 10. And has it decreased? If it has, that's terrific. And if it is the same or it still exists, it's because there's something else attached to it. And the other fear that is coming up is the fear of letting go. And so right now, on a scale of 1 to 10, where is the fear of letting go? And if you got the number, I'm going to clear that. And I'm going to replace that with the excitement of the new adventure and acceptance that change is the only constant. Okay. All right. So for some of you, that might be enough to clear that fear. For others, there's still something attached to it. And what I'm getting is it's actually heartache, the heartache of letting go. And so I'm going to clear the heartache attached to fear of something ending and fear of letting go. And I'm going to replace it with unconditional love for yourself, for others, and for all that is. Now, when you think about that fear of something ending, is it still as bad? Has it decreased? And I want you to rate it one more time. And there is one remaining emotion tied to this fear, and it's overwhelm. So I'm going to release the overwhelm from the situation, and I'm going to replace that with peace. Perfect. Now, the next thing that's coming up in this reading is the feeling of being unworthy. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to clear anywhere that you have felt unworthy anytime in this lifetime. And I'm going to replace that with the affirmation, I am worthy. Okay. The next emotion that's coming up is dread. And so I want you to think of a situation that you might be dreading. The first thing that pops into mind, don't try to think it out. We're working with the subconscious here. So it's the first thing that pops into your mind, dread, and rate it between a scale of 1 to 10. If you got it, what I'm going to do is I am releasing dread. And I'm replacing it with focus, productivity, and endurance. And now when you think about dread on a scale of 1 to 10, where is it? Okay. And for those that have cleared, that's great. And for those that still feel like there's something attached, the emotion tied to it is defeat. And so anywhere that you feel defeat in your life, the first memory that comes to mind, I want you to rate it on a scale of 1 to 10. And I'm going to release the emotion of defeat. And I'm going to replace it with I can and will conquer this. I can and will conquer. Okay, and I'm also replacing it with peace. Excellent. Thank you for watching this reading and clearing today. If you want a personal clearing, check in the comments below, and there is a link to reach me. I've also done a Divine Feminine reading, so you can check that on YouTube. I wish you a terrific rest of your day. Thanks for watching.